may need to be somewhere else. My name is Amelia Torres, and this, I'm an MA Creativity Studies, so not clinical psychology, regular psychology. And this presentation was created as a final presentation for Death, Loss, and Meaning in Existential Psychology for the spring semester. And I did it on Sunday. People really liked it. They asked me to do it again. So here we are. A little bit of background. At the time that I signed up for the class, I was in a very deep and dark night of the soul, if you will. I was really questioning what my purpose was, where's the meaning, where can I find it, and spiraling around the dark hole of suicidal ideation. And I didn't realize it at the time, but it was brought on by two people who I lost last year to suicide. One, a friend who I knew for 48 hours, and she took her life 10 days later. And the other one was Robin Williams. So this is for those who want to give up. I understand. I understand that wherever you are, you're asking why. What's the point? Why is it that I wake up every day and do the things that I do? What's the purpose? What's the meaning? Some of us might have an answer, a reason. But most of us are questioning, wondering, who am I? And what is this life that I'm living? I've come such a long way. I have faced so many losses, struggled so much, overcome so much. I have cancer, or my mother has cancer, or I lost my mother to cancer, or my father, or my brother, or my spouse, or my lover, or my child, or my dog, or my job. Or I'm like Richard Corey, and I have everything I could have ever wanted in the world, and I've lost the will to live. How can I possibly keep going? Even in social media, people are asking this question. This was from earlier this year in May. A fan asked J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series, asked her, or said, this may get lost in the noise, but what would you say to someone who has failed to find meaning and wants to finally give up? And she responded, I would say, look at this. And even this. And this. And then she said, and I'd say the world is full of wonderful things you haven't seen yet. Don't ever give up on the chance of seeing them. Don't give up on the chance of seeing them. You can really feel what she's trying to say, that there's something out there bigger than us, waiting for us to experience, that there's this majesty to the world and that we're a part of it. That's a very beautiful thing. But what if we can't see it? What if these images and ideas are just not enough? Because there's a filter over my eyes that's just too thick, or the veil over my face is just too heavy, because there's a cloud that follows me wherever I go, no matter what I do, where I go, who I talk to, I cannot shake it. There was a time, a year ago, I was saying that I would have seen these images and not been moved at all. And as a poet and a writer, this was very hard for me because I knew that the beauty was there. What if I can't see it? I knew that the beauty was there, but then I would look at the trees and I wouldn't be able to see them. I wouldn't be able to hear the music or see the beauty. I knew that it was there because I experienced it before. I wrote about it in Jesus. I have millions of journals where I'm like, the world is beautiful. I hear eagles soaring and crows laughing. Why couldn't I hear it anymore? When the world loses its color, things can go very dark. Ernest Becker said, "Man is literally split in two. He has an awareness of his own splendid uniqueness in that he sticks out of nature with a towering majesty, and yet he goes back into the ground a few feet in order blindly and dumbly to rot and disappear forever." Jason Silva, he's a host of National Geographic Brain Games, and he called this, he said, "Man, that's like an existential bummer." It is a bummer! Oh, it is the living paradox. It is, what is it? It is the paradox of man to wish to live forever, and no, we cannot. He also used the term Godworm to describe our human condition, that we are half God striving for validation for our existence. Becker, not Silva. Doing anything we can, striving for validation for our existence, doing anything we can to conquer death, filling up our days with appointments, anything to avoid feeling alone. And the other half of us knows with a raging instinct everything will cease to exist, including us. So what's really the point if we're going to lose everything anyway? Because of moments like this. There is something in this moment that we long for. What is it exactly? Judith Viorst calls it the source before separation, that place back in the womb where we were safe and protected and in a perpetual state of bliss. And after we are born, we remain connected to this place for a few years until our awareness of the world closes in or opens up. And we fight for this bliss everywhere for the rest of our lives. Leo Tolstoy said, "From the child of 5 to myself is but a step. From the newborn to the child of 5 is an appalling distance." Last December, before the new year, I went on a fire walk. So, talk about trying to conquer death, huh? I was clearly trying to say, I can walk on this fire, I will conquer it, and I will prove to the world that I walked on fire. Sorry, I skipped ahead. Oh no, firewalk, I just skipped ahead. Firewalk, yes. During our training and preparation for the firewalk, our teacher was explaining, how it worked, and that we really can walk on fire without getting burned, and I did, and definitely did not get burned. And she also shared with us this story that she heard of a little boy who was not quite 2 years old, asking his parents to be left alone with the newborn little brother or sister. And the parents were slightly perplexed. They thought, why would the 2-year-old be asking to be left alone with the baby? Why would he request such a thing? But the little boy was adamant, "Please, I just want to be left alone. Please, I need to be left alone with the baby." So they sought spiritual counseling, and the counselor said, it doesn't seem too odd to me, but if you're really uncomfortable, set up a baby monitor. Step out of the room and just be around the corner. That way, if anything goes weird, then you can step in. So they said, okay. They did that. They left the boy alone with his newborn brother or sister. They stepped around the corner, and they could hear him. You can imagine the little boy climbing onto the crib, his little feet between the rails, peering over. And they said, this is what they heard the boy say. "Help me. Help me to remember. I am starting to forget." And the whole room, the firewalk, let out a sigh. We realized, we could feel what he meant, and how far we had drifted away from that connection, and how we're never really, really going to get there again. So now we can give up, right? We're never going to get back into the womb, so we might as well just call it quits while we're ahead. Not just yet. There might still be a way. There is an ancient shamanic medicine that is evoked in times like this, a remedy so potent that it was used specifically to help individuals suffering through this very same existential crisis. And that treatment begins with a question. When was the last time you danced, or painted, or sang, or laughed, or played, just because it was there, just because you could? That's me, by the way. That same medicine that is found in those moments of dance and laughter is also found in those images that J.K. Rowling shared. I can tell you this because in this picture of me and my friend, I was in South America this last spring semester, and my friend and I went on a road trip. She and I lived in Brazil together 5 years ago, and she said, hey, why don't we go on a road trip from Argentina back to where we used to live in Brazil? I thought, okay, great. And with my mindset, I was like, sure, why not? Whatever. But in this moment, I could feel what Judith Bjorst talked about, what J.K. Rowling was trying to say. I could feel the magic, like Yalom said. Everywhere we turned, it felt like I was in a living postcard. Every shot I took was pure gold, a photographer's dream. I could feel the majesty, the incredible sense of purpose and power. That was exactly where I should be, and that all was right in the world. That state of bliss. So how do we get back there? Because how do I get back there? Because I'm clearly not there anymore. How do we get back there so we don't have to give up? But remember, people will argue, oh, but there's no going back. We can only go forward. And that might be true. But there is this sense of direction that needs to take place, a sense of movement. You know, we want to get back there so we don't have to give up once we reach the thing, that place with all the wonderful things that are still waiting for us. It's like we have to turn towards something. But how? Viktor Frankl is the author of Man's Search for Meaning, and he was a Holocaust survivor. And in his book, he speaks of his experiences in the concentration camps and the constant struggle for meaning and for purpose, you can imagine. And for the most dire of circumstances, from an environment where anyone could easily give up. And understandably so, he discovered that the salvation of man is through love and in love. It was the idea of his wife that gave him fuel, and he didn't even know if she was alive or not, and it didn't matter, he said. It ceased to matter, because the strength of his love for her and her love for him that they had, even if she was already gone at that point, it didn't matter because it still existed. That was enough for him to keep going. It is the act of turning our attention towards love, the idea of a loved one, of freedom, of beauty, of nature, of our art, of our passions. An answer that is yet to be revealed, the hope of tomorrow, of another beautiful sunset. We must turn towards it, like fine-tuning a radio dial, or like a weather vane, or like a compass, or like a patient who's in physical therapy for being paralyzed, and every nanometer that she moves is a step towards hope. Because, as Frankl said, where human life still exists, so does hope. Hope. And I'm human, and you're human, and we are human, and we're still alive, which means there's still hope for us. We can still experience validation for our existence. We can't give up just yet. Okay. So we got hope. We got a direction. We got a way. And these moments, these glimpses of bliss, right? That same bliss that we're trying to get back in that womb space. We got it. We got it. Okay, I got it. Yes, it's right there. Those moments right now, right now, and right now, and right now. But let's examine these. Let's dissect them a little. Let's go into this moment. Let's go into this moment a little bit more. There is another ingredient in this medicine that we crave as conscious creatures wanting to conquer death just a little bit more. What is it in this moment? There is a chemistry and philosophy joke that said if the element of awe were on the periodic table, it would be the heaviest element, because unlike the other elements, awe can stop time. Because when awe is present, time stops. Your surroundings melt away. These moments can literally take your breath away. The act of being struck by awe, actually, it's an inhale, right? You see something amazing. It's a gasp, a natural pause in time. When we are engaged in this state of awe, we're able to attain that magic, transcend death a moment longer. We've all experienced this at some point in our lives, whether we're watching an athlete break a world record or we witness a dancer defying something, some law of reality. And in that space for us, the dancer, or for us, the observer, is where we can find that same medicine found in a landscape or a painting, or playtime, or in that moment when an older parent suffering from Alzheimer's finally remembers you, just for a moment. Okay, now we get that maybe this sense of awe can be sustained, stretched out maybe into longer periods of time. Could it be the state of flow? Flow is the state of bliss with purpose and meaning, a state we as post-womb conscious creatures crave. Flow is a route to self-actualization, a route to our calling. And life is made up of a series of these moments, and these moments are unique to each individual because the experience of life is different from each individual. Let me say that one more time. Life is made up of a series of these moments, and they are unique to each individual because the experience of life is different from each individual. Therefore, the meaning of life differs from man to man and moment to moment. That Frankel man. It is our choice in each moment to turn our attention towards something, strive for something greater, towards something more fulfilling. Whether we're a single mother driving our kids to school, or a doctor working on the next cure for cancer, or a graduate student in whatever semester you are, finishing your degree, one person's meaning and purpose will always be different from someone else's, and it will evolve in every moment of our lives. When I was in Argentina last semester, I visited this incredible series of waterfalls called La Garganta del Diablo, or the Devil's Throat. And it's on the border of Argentina and Brazil. This is the Argentinian side. And people say that when you're looking into the Devil's Throat, so I was up at the top and this is at the bottom. When you're looking in, the fantasy of suicide increases. And for me, standing there, I could see what they meant. Saying, oh, this would be so easy. This would be so easy to slide over. One, because the railing system is kind of low and slippery. So like they should really upgrade this area because it's really not safe. And as a person who has had depression simmering under the surface still today, and wrestling with purpose and meaning like we all do, that day I realized it was a choice to live. I looked death straight in the eye and I was like, oh no. Not today. Not today, death. Oh no, not today. I conquer you. I'm going to walk away from you today. I'm going to go and I'm going to tell other people about it that I conquered you. I choose to live today. I'm going to see tomorrow. I felt powerful. I'm telling people I survived. I chose not to give up, to keep moving towards something, towards my calling, towards my purpose, towards love. If life is made up of these moments, and they're constantly evolving, then this path is also what Joseph Campbell called the hero's journey. and each journey is as unique as the person walking it. The life of a living paradox is not easy. Our stories are ours to live, and ours alone to end. The world was made with a U-shaped hole in it, and only you can fill it. It is missing what you see. It lacks what you know. Each person that has ever existed matters. Their impact radiates out in concentric circles for all infinity. In the words of Maya Angelou, in the end, all great souls must die. And I can be, and you can be, and we can be and be better, for we existed at all. Thank you.